Well, good evening, all. Ira Epstein with your Spider ETF stock market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for Tuesday, and we're at the 3rd of February, 2026. Wow, what a day. You know, we started off on a firm note in all the stock indices. We're doing pretty good. And then Anthropic came out, and apparently they have a new module that they've put out that is a disruptor to the legal industry. I'm talking the law profession, because lawyers, if you understand how they work, they buy a lot of software for their products. A lot of the contracts they write and so on can be basically spit out with artificial intelligence to a certain degree. But when you get a disruptor in there and can do it cheaper, possibly better, game changes. Not just more competition, some of this can come out free too. So, whoa. That came out today. Excuse me, I've still got that cough from the lingering of the flu I had caught. So when I look at all that, I go, whoa. And I went and had a cup of coffee this morning. I swear to you, I came back to my seat here. I fell over. I go, what just came out? And I had to go on, and I'm using my AI. What is making the stock market turn around and break this much? And that's how I got my answers. So we got to pay attention. Netflix can't stay out of its own way. I'm telling you, the market does not look favorably on them getting this Warner Brothers deal. This is a stock that's taken a heck of a beating. Even losing the bearish embedded reading, lost money. I lost money on that trade. Apple coming down a little bit right now. Okay, but it's had a heck of a run to the upside. Amazon starting to slip back a little bit, but who doesn't use Amazon? I mean, there's certain things you look at and you go, they're going to be fine over time. Microsoft is questionable. I mean, it's getting beaten up, beaten up, beaten up. Meta coming down again. So the market is questioning this high tech, all the money being spent on AI. Can you get your money back? And they're starting to rotate every time they get a piece of news like this away from them, and it gets rather violent. Before I get to this chart, which looks a little different, I'll show you in a minute why. We're going to get the Mortgage Bankers Association in the morning. The ISM, the service sector number, will come out. The EIA petroleum stocks. You know, the government reopened. President Trump, with Speaker Johnson, was able to get the vote through the House of Representatives. He signed it. You've now got a 2-week window to put to bed the rest of this budget, and I hope they can get that job done. Iran's already disrupted everything. They are changing the meeting and the schedule. They have said, Turkey's out. We'll go somewhere else in the Mideast. Number 2, we're not listening to the U.S., what they want to do. We'll discuss our nuclear strategies with them, but we're not going to discuss our missile programs. We're not going to discuss the people that we provide funds to that support our efforts in the Mideast. This is them saying this. And the U.S. isn't going to dictate. And with that, they send a drone into the air to look at the Abraham Lincoln Group, and of course it was blasted out of the air. I understand F-35 jets took it out. Then they put their ships into the Strait of Hormuz, and there was a U.S. Commercial vessel going through it, and of course they threatened to take it over, and they created a lot of havoc there. They're pushing all the buttons, and what's going to happen is they push the buttons. They're going to discover that they have a different president sitting that we've ever had. And this thing can get very nasty, very fast, in a bad way. I don't want to see that happen. I'd like to find that there's a way for peace. Unfortunately, my whole lifetime, it's never been peaceful there. So what can you do? So let's go to the marketplace, because those are things we can do and understand. You're in a funny transition period. You're in an exceptionally volatile time. I've not seen markets in the futures, and a lot of your stock, of course, ETFs are based on that, is volatile as you are right now. So it's unusual. Understand what you're dealing with. Understand that you're going to get frustrated from it, and you should be. That doesn't mean there won't be opportunities. And if you're a trader, you're going to get a series of losses, and then you're going to catch those winners too. As you look at ET, I asked you, what do you want me to cover? And I'm asking again. Bring me the stocks you want me to cover, and I'm going to start doing it. I had people do just what I didn't want. They're, of course, throwing out silver with the ETFs that can go multiple in there. I'm not doing that. It's not going to happen. Don't even try it. You're wasting your time writing me. That's not what the typical person is trading. That's a day trade tool, and just about that's all it is. When you look at how you're coming up here, you had a heck of a run. Now, this is a company that engages in natural gas. You can go online, put in their, type their symbol in or their name, and you will learn about what they do. But it's a big company. I think an important business that they've got. The trend is certainly to the upside, higher lows, higher highs on the swing line. This is the 18-day average. Right here in gray is the 200, and this is the 100-day average. I didn't put the labels on. I'm playing with the sizes that I want. I'm changing things in the charting right now, so today was a day where I just didn't do any of that. The Bollinger Bands are right here. That's them, as you can see, right through here, and the market has been hitting them on a regular basis. It's a sign of a market still in a very bullish posture. And it's still hanging on to the embedded reading, hasn't given it up. You'd have to get one of these numbers, ideally the red one, to close under 79 to lose that. So pullbacks in the market are being bought, and bought rather aggressively. In URA, uranium, every time you've come up to these Bollinger Bands and hit it, you generally get a break. Now, this one was bigger than you normally get, and it came down rather hard. We know that the United States under President Trump is investing now heavily into rare earths and so on. Europe has approached the United States on rare earth minerals, that they want to go into a partnership with us. Part of that's politics, part of it's real. As Western economies, we have to make sure that China can't strangle us, and that is what they're looking at. And I think it makes a lot of sense for the United States to have a very open mind and look for these relationships. But uranium, I just look at it that this is still a very cheap way to build energy, and you need it for the AI. Tesla, again, down to the lower Bollinger Band. So you've got to ask yourself, if you're a Tesla owner, what do you own? Is this going to be part of some other company that gets rolled in? Because as for the car part, I think you're looking at a dying end of that business. We know that robots are the next part, AI. We know what the starships and all those are. The question is, what part do you get to have with that or play with it? If it's just the robots, okay. I mean, that's a huge business, and you got a genius leader. So it has nothing to do with PE ratios. You just got to ask yourself, what kind of company is it? On Apple, as I said, you got to the Bollinger Band. I can see where resistance is going to come in. You're overbought, but let's applaud it. This market was in a huge downtrend, and it made a heck of a rally back. Very painful if you were holding on. You were going there, what did I buy this for? I'm sure. And in Netflix, shame on the company. The market's telling you they don't want this company to get it. Just look at what this stock has done. You've taken it down from $100 and some odd dollars a share. You can see the high here is $115, but it was much higher than that. And you're down to $80. And if you think that owning that's going to turn you and make you a fortune, I have my doubts. and so does the marketplace. And taking on all that debt. Now, Google. Overbought into the upper band. Look for support on pullbacks to the 18-day average of closes. Rivian, still going to be under pressure. I've said that to you each day. You've got the bearish embedded reading. Don't know where the next stopping spot is. It'll show itself. The market came back and made back most of the day's loss. Closed down 3 cents. Joby, one of the few markets to get an outside day up. But all it did is spin back into the Bollinger Bands. It probably gets sold on a rally up here. Maybe it's going to get some earnings numbers or something coming out soon. I don't know when they declared those. In XLF, the financial sector, the market lost its bearish reading. It finally got up to where I thought it would go, the 18-day average, and that should be it. Now, the big banks going to be able to run from here, or are they going to stay out of favor? That's what you got to ask yourself. On the industrial sector, we've seen they're doing much better. People are rotating to them, and you can see you've hit the Bollinger Bands, and you've been doing that fairly regularly all of a sudden. So definitely in the bull camp as far as I see that. Energy, well, the whole sector's come alive with this U.S.-Iranian talks and ships getting harassed now in the Strait of Hormuz, playing down. So you just pay attention. You don't want to be bearish while that's all going on. In the gold market, you can see how it just jumped up. So now you're starting to get gaps in these charts. I hate that when that takes place. I would expect back and fill in the chart. Walmart, trillion-dollar company valuation, joins that elite group of businesses, and away you go to the upside through that. Very fascinating. Over the Bollinger Band, one of the few markets, a stellar performer today, up another 3%. Microsoft, a terrible performance. I mean, it's just falling down, and it doesn't give up on it. It hasn't even embedded yet. It's just oversold. BND and TLT still adding some yield as they're falling here. Next in the dollar, I'm looking for a failure number up at the 18-day average of closes and for a buy number to hold together at the 18-day average in FXE. The other market that's been getting killed is Bitcoin. Went down about 73,000 today, so that's a new low for this whole break. Remember, if you want to see my research, what we do, the buy-sell orders, all you have to do is come up here, give the icon a click. You'll have one over here. Or go to iraepstein.com. And when you're at that, look at research. Pretty simple. I'm Ira. You have yourself a great evening. Watch the other videos, and I'll catch up with you in the morning. Have a good evening. Take care.